Most of you guys watching this video are badasses. And this was like one option for you. You could have came into life, you could have had some easy flowing thing where you didn't really have to question things too much. Most of us though, this is what we decided. I'm at this bike trail right now. There's a more difficult bike path this way. There's another difficult one that way. And then there's an easy one this way. Now, the thing that happened is what most of us did is most of us took a more initially difficult path because that led to us becoming more aware of who we are. And the thing is that was part of the process and something that we wanted to discover going through our life situation, was going through different things where we'd go on like the path that we chose. But kind of what happened is we forgot that we chose to go down some path because even though we couldn't see all the different twists, all the different turns, what happened is we knew that going in, we'd forget who we are. That's what makes part of this life experience challenging, is that we chose a difficult path and we forgot that we actually chose that because of the growth that would come from it. Now, there's a lot of pain that comes when we're in our life experience and we don't necessarily know which route the path is going. We might not know, and one of the reasons is because we chose not to know. We chose not to know all of it, but there is something very important I wanted to share with you. And that is, imagine that at this bike trail place that I'm at right now, imagine that there's like over there, there's like this peak. And imagine that over there, you could look down and see all the different paths. And the only part that really becomes difficult is that we believe that we need to know every little twist and turn. And the reason that's there and that fear is there is because we're not trusting our higher selves. We're not trusting the larger aspect of us. We've learned to just trust the little ego us that's in the valley, that's on the path, that's a little bit confused, like there's this twist, there's this turn, this one says more difficult, what about this, what about that? And energetically, at the top of the hill, there's our higher self. And our higher self is looking down and is like, yo, it's okay. Just trust. Just trust. Imagine, there's another metaphor of this, I did plant medicine yesterday, just to be completely honest with you guys. And when I did, I had this realization. I was talking to a friend and she was talking about, we were talking about both of us, we have this like need to control different aspects of our life. I think one thing that I do in my life is that the way that I try to control my life is I control my business. Because it's the one thing, controlling different aspects of my business, but there's a lot of challenges to that. For example, now, like, I feel like I have to do everything. And one of the problems is that if I have to do every aspect of the business because I do it the best way, that's the ego, then I'm not actually able to make videos as easily and as fluidly. Maybe you've noticed that recently the videos have been taken up a notch here where I'm putting more thought and energy into them. It's because I'm actually offloading and trusting people to do things that I don't actually enjoy doing anyways, like the back end part of businesses and stuff, the business and stuff like that. But now that I've let that go and I'm trusting other people to take care of it and the universe kind of, these different elements, now I'm able to focus on what I love, which is making videos and kind of put these little metaphors and stuff like that, And but I've realized that it's almost like because I had no control in my life growing up, I think because of the abusive stepmom thing and, like working a 9-to-5 job I hated for so long, I think what happened is I gained a lot of certainty out of having a business. But there's the challenge is that sometimes like trusting the unknown for me has been very challenging because who knows what's down there. And the thing I was working with my friend is, imagine there's like this slide and there's like this really cool slide that has all these twists and these turns, kind of like this bike trail. But imagine what happened is we started clawing our way. It's almost like the analogy I told my friend. Friend is Leor, many of you know her. The analogy I told her is, imagine, you ever see those like TikToks or something of like little kids going down slides and they're almost using their baby fat to not go down because they're trying to resist the process of going down that slide because they're afraid they don't know if they were to surrender, they'd probably enjoy themselves, but they don't know that. They're afraid of the unknown. And the thing is many times in our life, we are not trusting the flow of the slide. We're afraid the slide just has a hole in it somewhere. We're going to fall through. And the thing is we then claw our way. We then suffer. We then create all this negative energy. And there's a part of us, though, that set up the slide. This is the thing that on plant medicine was very powerful to understand. Imagine there's like a lifeguard like this water slide, there's like this lifeguard thing that has a really high pinnacle point of view that can see, and that created the slide to begin with, and they can see the whole slide and see, oh, it's okay. You just surrender, enjoy the ride, and you'll go down even smoother, and it won't take so long. It won't be such a resistant slide down. Well, in the same way, that's a very powerful metaphor. The key to not controlling so much is trusting the slide, knowing that you set it up. And the more that you resist, the more that you claw your way going down it, the more you use your own baby fat to keep you from sliding down, the more resistance you end up creating and the more painful the ride actually is. But the thing about this to remember is, which perspective are you using? Are you using the little ego's perspective, or are you using the higher self perspective? Are you remembering that you're an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience and that you set up the slide itself? What happens is, a lot of times, some point in our past, what happened is there was some type of pain, and we decided in a moment that our ego had to control different things in life. So it's like almost like you're going down that slide and you decided, I have to control the direction to which I'm going down, and I need to control the process. And because of the fear of the painful childhood or whatever it is, whatever we experience growing up, we then start to give so much credence and so much energy over to that of the ego. And then we get a sense of certainty out of that. But the part that's important to remember is that in this process, it is about trusting the higher self. And it is about remembering that you set up the slide, and that the more you resist is the more it's going to be a painful experience. The more it's like you're going down a beautiful slide, and you could just relate, you could just enjoy the process of going down your, and that's another thing. You have to commit. Some of these, even this easy one, this one's easy. I went down the easy one when I first moved here, and I found this trail at this place. And you have to really commit. I had to commit to like these jumps and stuff, and I didn't really know what to expect. But like, are you committed to your life experience? Are you going through life, or are you trying to like resist the process? Every one of us had probably had some type of painful experience early on in life where we then learned and believed that we couldn't trust life experiences. We couldn't trust ourselves. We couldn't trust the universe. And that break in trust then caused us to claw ourselves down, our way down that slide, and use our own baby fat to stop the process. And it's about remembering that we set up the slide at a higher level, that at a higher level, our higher selves can allow us to relax because we're on the lifeguard's chair. We're at the top of that pinnacle over there, and we're looking down, and we're like, dude, you got this. It's okay. Trust the process. But I want to applaud many of you, because many of you that have been through a spiritual awakening, you did not choose the easiest path. The easiest path was not the one that appealed to you. The one that appealed to you was the more difficult ones. But the reason the more difficult ones appeal to you is because you knew there'd be more growth. You forgot that though. When we come into this reality, we forget who we are so that we can go through a process of remembering who we are. And you forgot that you chose that, but it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be fun. It's like a slide. It's like, oh, that's a difficult slide because it has all these twists and turns. No, if you surrender, it just you go smooth, and it's even more fun. You wanted an exciting life. You didn't want some easy, boring ass life. You wanted a slide that was fun. And you chose this lifetime where we're all waking up to more and more of who we are. So that's my message for you today. You chose this. Remember that. And the way you remember that is by trust the universe, trust the higher self. Realize that as you do, your vibration raises. You start to be in a more relaxed state. And then from what happens from there is things just happen more synchronistically for you anyways. That's the way it works. The more we resist is the more we then find experiences in our life that are equal to that resistance. The more we allow is the more our vibration raises, and then the more we are in ideal realities anyway. So instead of using your baby fat to not go down that slide, just relax. Get a little oil. Just go. You go fast as fuck. You enjoy the process, and that makes life way more beautiful. So if you like this style of videos, like this video. I know it's a new type of style. I'm using metaphors in almost every video. Yeah, I look forward to making more videos for this. As always, peace, much love, namaste.